Hello and welcome everybody. We apologize for the technical difficulties because of which we were not able to broadcast the first innings this morning. A warm welcome to all of our viewers, supporters, patrons, subscribers. Welcome to day 3 of this triangular series between Japan, Cook Islands and Thailand. This is game 3 between Thailand and Cook Islands. Earlier this morning, Thailand won the toss and elected to bowl, and they did an admirable job restricting Cook Islands to 72. That's a wonderful shot there. Beautiful shot. Pulled towards square leg for a boundary. First boundary of the Thailand innings. Akshay Yadav, who was also instrumental in building the Thai innings yesterday, was at Japan, has gotten them off the mark now. To recap, Thailand did a wonderful job this morning in restricting the Cook Islands to only 72. And as this tournament has progressed, we have seen their bowling getting better and better and better. This morning they also effected a couple of really good runouts and displayed excellent athletic fielding. There was one dropped catch that I remember, but by and large they managed to sort of keep things tight, and I think that put pressure on the Cook Islands players, which sort of necessitated them into playing risky shots, which then eventually led to a few dismissals. Now let's see whether the Thai batsmen can capitalize on the good showing of their bowlers and chalk out a first win over here in this tournament. This is Sagir Parker. I'll be your commentator for the rest of the match, and barring any technical difficulties, I'll be here with you until the close of play. A warm welcome once again to all of the viewers from Sano International Cricket Ground, where this match is being played. As you can see and as you know, it's a lovely little ground nestled in the city of Sano, about 80 kilometers northwest of Tokyo. The cricket culture in Japan is definitely growing. They are attracting more and more players. They're attracting a better quality of players as well. This year's JPL was fantastic. And now they've got the men's international tri-series, followed by a women's pentangular next month. Tries to pull that ball, makes no connection. The ball goes harmlessly through to the keeper. Chatpai-san made a very aggressive, sort of very assertive 46 in Thailand's first match versus Cook Island a couple of days ago, and the Thai team will be hoping that he can perform some of those heroics over here today as well. It's a lovely looking drive on the up, goes up to extra cover, mid-off comes round and fields it, returns it back. The batsmen take a quick single, no risk involved over there. Usually sort of low total innings like this, it's very important that when you're chasing, you don't lose too many wickets earlier on, because it just adds to the pressure. It's a very tricky sort of chase, and you're never quite sure whether you want to go sedately or you want to be aggressive in your approach. You see Akshay playing another pull shot over there, holds his wrist, he keeps that ball along the ground. A slightly finish backward square leg, fields it there at the boundary. Earlier this morning we saw the ball swing a little bit, and the Thai seamers took full advantage of that. There also appears to be a slightly spongy bounce in the pitch today, with a couple of the spinners getting tidy bounce as well. That's the end of the second over. Thailand are 7 for no loss. During the Cook Islands innings, Jandre Kurtzi was in full flow once again. He bowled a 3-over first spell and got 3 wickets for a meager return of 6 runs. He was ably supported by Mukesh Thakur at the other end, and the spinners provided sufficient support to the seniors too, with Sano back to his tidy self, taking 1 wicket for 12, and Thongsa taking 3 wickets for 5 runs off his 1.5 overs, 1.5 overs rather. Hayden Dixon now returns for his second over. He starts with a wide down the leg side. Good ball over there, just dabbed down by the batter. Akshay will probably want to eschew any risk in this run chase. He'd probably want to stay as long as he can at the crease and ensure that there are no early hiccups. And I think given the improvement that we have seen in the Thai bowling, it wouldn't come as a surprise if we see a slightly improved approach in the batting either. Dixon tries to field that one off his own bowling, gets his hand to it, but unable to latch onto it, which gives the batters an opportunity to sneak in a single over there. A relatively sedate start here for the Thai team. Dixon bowls fast and straight, and that's hit by Chakrai-san, but not able to take full toll of that. Gets an inner edge, and the ball just sort of dribbles away to the backward of square leg. This now brings Akshay Yadav back onto the strike. Seems fairly composed in his approach, reliable wicket keeper for their team as well. Oh, that's a beautiful delivery by Dixon. Just shaped sufficiently away and had a fair bit of bounce on it too. Lovely ball. Steaming in again, just a hint of a little swing once again, but sort of heading towards the leg. left by Yadav for them. Tutti bowling fairly tidily, not giving any loose deliveries, especially for the batter to swing their arms. First ball may have been a little bit on the fuller and wider side, but since then he's kept it tight. Oh, and just as I was saying how well he has bowled, he sprays one down the leg side. A welcome extra run and extra delivery for the Thai team. That they will take this any day, all day long. We can see Tutti frustrated with himself over there. He's probably fuming that he's given a single as an extra. And he comes again. He's bowled it full. We can see a gentle bit of in-swing over there from him. And this one slapped to mid-off, no runs. This one's down leg side again. It's hitting towards the boundary, stopped by the fine leg fielder. We'll have to wait to see what the signal from the umpire is. Leg buys. It's given as leg buys. That's 2 more to the total. Well fielded down there. That was so close to being a boundary leg buy too. But good work done by the fielder. Thailand trying to get that one down to fine leg again, but this time doesn't make the connection. Tutti ends the over with a dot ball. So far he's conceded 7 runs of his 2 overs, similar to Dixon at the other end. Thailand now 16 for no loss after 4 overs. We may see a change in bowling over here. Yeah, and as on cue, we have a new bowler coming in. Taylor is the new bowler. Looks like we'll continue with seam. Left arm over the wicket. A bit of swing again on display, but unfortunately the control of line wasn't as good, and he bowls one down the leg side. Another extra added to the total. Better ball from Taylor this time, and the batsman just dab it in front and take a very, very quick single comfortably home. There's been an appeal for a run out, but turned down by the umpire. Swing and a miss. Once again, swing on display. I would say it's been good conditions for the seam bowlers this morning. They've got a bit of bounce off the pitch, and they've got a bit of movement in the air as well. This time round he gets an outside edge, and that looks to be flying towards the third man boundary. Whether the fielder gets to it, yeah, he gets there on time. The batsmen take 2 runs in the process. The edge coming off Yadav's bat. I don't think it went where he intended to. It looks like he was aiming to go over mid-on. but got a very healthy outside edge, and the lack of slip field there didn't really matter that much because it just went over the keeper's head. Keeper standing a little bit wide, you can see. Ooh. Welcome back, everybody. Apologies for the technical glitches and the inconvenience caused thereof. We are now back on air again. Comms are running, and as you have just witnessed, Thailand have just lost their second wicket. They were going at a pretty steady, sedate pace, but unfortunately, the batsman just couldn't hang on. Mara Ave claiming that second wicket, a cotton bowled, very well done. The Thai hopes now entirely resting upon Akshay Yadav's shoulders. He is joined at the crease by his partner Austin Lazarus, who's also the skipper for the Thai men's team. That's a great piece of fielding there in the covers. That ball was slapped by Akshay on the up, trying to look at that gap past cover where it is a vacant run to the boundary. But unfortunately, the fielder was alert and managed to intercept it quickly, denying the batters any run. That's the end of the over. Thailand are now 35 for the loss of 2 after 8 overs, roughly at the halfway mark in terms of the target score. Once again, we do apologize for the technical issues that we were having, but the feed is back up and running again. Thank you for your patience. Oscar Taylor continues from the far end and unfortunately starts off with a wide. Just to compare the number of extras, the Thai bowlers had given 10 extras when they bowled earlier, which included 6 byes, 3 leg byes, and just a single wide. In comparison, Cook Islands have already conceded 10 extras, 2 of them being leg byes and 8 of them being wides. Admittedly, I must say that they haven't bowled 8 wide balls. Some of them have been runs in addition to the runs for the wide. It's neatly tugged just off his hips. Takes a single in the process. Lazarus goes to the non-striker's end. That brings Yadav at the batting crease now. I would have loved to know what the conversation between these two had been and what they thought about their approach to the game. That's a beautiful, beautiful delivery by Taylor. Pitches it on the exact line that he would have wanted, gets it to shape away from the batter, and the batter lucky that he didn't get an edge to that one. There's some signaling going on between the two batting partners, probably trying to tell each other what the ball's doing. Thailand will probably employ a different approach today compared to yesterday when they were chasing 111 versus Japan. And in the pursuit of getting quick runs early on, they lost half their side very quickly. Bit of an inside edge. Today they appear to be taking a more conservative approach. They would want to sort of consolidate a victory at least in this game. And if that means playing sedately and sort of accumulating runs, then going for big fancy shots, so be it. This time around he's chipped it up in the air in mid-on. This ball's going towards the boundary, and that's a 4, a very welcome 4 for the Thai team. Yadav batting beautifully over here. He's bided his time. He's waited patiently for the ball that he knows he can hit. He's hit the ball in the gaps whenever possible. He's taken singles when he can't play the big shots, and he's just basically, accumulated these runs. Thailand are now 41 for the loss of 2 after 9 overs. Short delivery from Harvey. Once pulled towards cow corner, kept it along the ground, then go for the big hit, not trying to get a 6, but playing sensibly over here. Lazarus opts for a single. Yadav pulls it this time towards the backward square leg. Sorry, deep square leg. And he takes another single. This time he goes for a big aerial shot. Oh, just grazes the fingertips of the fielder at mid-off, who manages to field it before it has crossed the boundary. And I think the batters were expecting that this would potentially go for the boundary, but it hasn't. Good bit of fielding over there. Another short ball, likely above waist high. Both umpires have their arms outstretched. It'll be a no ball, and that goes for a 4-2. Well played by Yadav over there. He managed to get it over the infield on the offside, past cover. That was a very, very high full toss. Very high full toss. Rightly called a no ball by the umpires. Now, free hit. Free hit coming up. What will Yadav do on this ball? Given the fact that he can only be run out of a free hit, he might want to go for another big slog and see how many more runs he can get over here. Comes down the wicket, slaps it towards cow corner. It's heading towards the gap between deep square leg and middle wicket, and he comes back for 2 runs. Lazarus there sprinting for his life, makes it on time. A well-run 2 runs over there, and that probably takes the tie score past 50 maybe. We'll have to wait to see for the scorecard to be updated. Yeah, it definitely takes them past 50. Well played over there. This time he sweeps it, and he sweeps it along the ground towards deep square leg, gets a single in the process. Lazarus reaches out and slaps it towards covers, goes straight to the fielder. Over called by the umpires. That's the midway mark in this innings. So at the halfway stage in this run chase, we are 10 overs gone. Thailand have 52 runs on the board for the loss of just 2 wickets. They need another 21 runs for a wonderful victory over here. Can they get it? That's the question. Cook Islands will do everything possible within their power to restrict these Thai batters. They just need a couple of wickets over here, especially if they get Yadav and Lazarus quickly. Then they will start believing that they can restrict this run chase and basically snuff out the life from the Thai run chase. Thailand, on the other hand, will probably want to keep going as they are, not take too many risks, and just keep accumulating those singles, doubles, and hit the odd boundary whenever they are presented with a bad ball. One other aspect I think Cook Islands might need to rein in is not to give as many free deliveries as they have thus far. run chase resumes. Dixon back into the attack. Starts off with a wide ball. And just as we had talked earlier, that is one thing that Cook Islands don't need at the moment. They need to cut back, restrict as many extra deliveries, extra runs as they can. Ooh, dug in short, but down the leg side, that's called a wide ball. I think Dixon's just missed his length over there. He probably wanted to attempt a short delivery, but probably got it too short in the end, and given the way the pitch has been, it really didn't carry with pace, but instead ended up with a sort of a spongy bounce and then just went down the leg. We also saw the umpire signal one bouncer for the over. That's a much better ball by Dixon. The batter driving it on the up, fielder collecting it, attempted to get a direct hit, but the ball flew over the top of the stumps. No risk over there for the batter, and that brings Lazarus now back to the strike. Another good ball, aimed straight at the stumps, played safely in the end. Oh, an outside edge. It gets cut off by third man. Only a single over there. We have seen a few of these in this tournament where these edges have flown past a vacant first slip, and captains who have been proactive to plug that gap have reaped rewards. Length ball this time, tugged towards the leg side by Yadav, who takes a steady single once again. He's now batting at 27. In comes Dixon again. This time this has been hit on the up on the offside. Picked up by sweeper cover. One run to the mix. End of Dixon's over. Tie score at 58 for 2 after 11 overs. They need 16 more runs for a victory. 15 more runs for a victory. 9 overs remaining. 8 wickets in hand. Easier said than done sometimes. Sport can be very funny and can be very cruel at times. When things start going wrong, they can go wrong without notice at all. Milton Kavana back in the attack now. It's his first over. bowled decently in the first match and had a hand with the fielding too. Let's see if he can bring a breakthrough over here and help his side get on some level of parity with the Thai team over here. And he comes. Yadav pushes it towards extra cover. There's a fielder over there, not too far. And one more run added to the total. Good bit of fielding. Thailand, having done all the hard work in the first session this morning, looks set to reap their rewards of their hard work now. And I must say this has been a much improved and a better display of batting in a run chase compared to their performance yesterday. This time Lazarus gets hold of it, gets a wild slow off towards the leg side and gets 2 runs in the mix. That is the end of Kavana's over. Four runs coming off that over. Thailand now 62 for 2. Dixon returning to bowl from the far end. This will be his final over in this innings. Has he got it in him to provide a breakthrough for his team now? A much needed breakthrough for the Cook Islands team, who displayed a very superior and aggressive batting approach in the first game versus the same Thai team. But today it looks as if Thailand have regrouped, they have learnt from their 2 losses over the past 2 days and have shown significant improvement, not just in the way they have bowled and fielded, but in their batting approach as well today. Ooh, quite a clever shot, that one. Just use the pace of the bowler and only tickle it into the gap on the leg side. But that adds 2 more to their total and 2 more to Yadav's individual score. He has played a very stable knock today, a much needed stable knock from one of the players in the Thai team. His personal score is now 28 of 39 deliveries. And Lazarus is batting at 9 of 13. Oh, gets an inside edge. That could so easily have been chopped onto the stumps. It goes towards fine leg inside and they take 1 more single. Lovely little square drive there. Lazarus does have a fairly sort of a languid approach to his batting. Comes across as someone who's quite comfortable and laid back. Doesn't take much, and has got a very fluid style to his approach, like a very languid style. Quicker ball by Hayden Dixon over here. Almost catches Yadav by surprise, who's lucky not to get another edge, as that ball just flies past the outside edge of his bat, collected by the keeper. Cook Islands trying hard over here, trying really hard to get any breakthrough that they can get. They've got 5 fielders in the circle at the moment. They're juggling to balance the mix of having fielders in catching positions and at the same time trying to prevent singles, Another single added to the total. You know, the old adage of we'll get them in singles, allegedly attributed to George Hurst and Wilfred Rhodes, might be the mantra that Thailand have adopted over here. End of the over, 67 for the loss of 2 wickets. 7 overs remaining, 8 wickets in hands, and 6 runs to get. Looks like there's some chirping there between the players. Umpire Thurgate had to get involved, and it looks like he's telling them to just cool down and take it easy and get on with the game. Rana returns for his second over. This one's hit on the offside. The batsman, oh, and that's a boundary. That's a boundary. Yadav was initially watching the ball, assuming that it was a given that it would go past the fence, before he realized that the fielder was chasing that one. And then he started running, but as things panned out, the fielder was unable to cut it off, and it does go for a boundary. That's Yadav's 4th boundary today. It takes him to 36. Thailand now 71 for the loss of 2 wickets. Need 2 more for a very memorable win over here. And may I say, a fairly deserved win too, given the improvements that they have shown. That's a drive towards long off. Fielder comes in. Scores are now tied. Looks like Lazarus, the skipper, might hit the winning runs. Right, the field's coming a bit more now. I think there's only 2 players outside the circle. Lazarus goes high, he goes long, he goes over mid-off, and that ball's gone towards the fence. 4 more to the total, and what a wonderful victory to Thailand over here, who have chalked up their first win in this triangular series, courtesy of the bowlers who set up this game for them earlier on by restricting Cook Islands to only 72, ensuring that the life was snuffed out by getting all 10 wickets and disallowing the Cook Islands from playing a full quota of 20 overs. The batsers then approached the run chase in a seemingly calm and composed manner. They did lose Chatpaisan a little bit earlier and the second wicket fairly quickly following that, but by and large, Lazarus and Yadav have ensured that there were no further jitters, no further hiccups, and they have seen their team home. And what a way to get them home, by the shot, the blade of the skipper, who hits a beautiful lofted off drive to get a boundary to finish this innings and secure those valuable points for Thailand. Not only have they ensured that they have managed to get this win comfortably, and secure the points for the win, but they have also tried to improve upon their net run rate as much as they can. Given that they still have about 7 overs or 6 overs and a bit, this has been a wonderful job by the Thai team. What a performance from them today, and they were a little bit rusty in the first game, the opening match of this series. But as the series has progressed, they have lifted their game quite significantly. It was only a matter of time before they chalked up that win and put everybody else on alert that they are here to compete and not just as somebody, who's come here to spectate. It has been a pleasure bringing you this game from Sano International Cricket Ground. We have a double header today. On day 3, the second match this afternoon will be between hosts Japan and the Cook Islands. Please join us for that later this afternoon. We will be with you throughout the course of that game as well. Thank you so much for your patronage. It has been a pleasure bringing this match to you all. and I hope that you have enjoyed the broadcast. I do apologize for the technical difficulties that we were facing earlier. Hopefully that now has been resolved, and we should have an uninterrupted second match later in the day. That is slated to be at 2:30 this afternoon local time. That's 2:30 Japan time, and the game will be between Japan and Cook Islands. We will see you then. Thank you.